Tommy, can you just talk about maybe just the end of the game, that moment where you got to come down the sideline and just celebrate with you guys? Obviously, it looked like it was a pretty special moment for you.
Yeah, it's just one of those unique opportunities to get down there and be around everybody. And it's a couple weeks in a row now where towards the end of the game, I think Coach Parker's come on the headset and just said, hey, why don't you come on down? And you kind of are isolated up there in the box. You forget what the game feels like from the field level, and it's obviously much quieter and all that. But I'll tell you what, our students, our fans, the stadium was in rare form Saturday night, and to be down there for the short while I was really cool, just to experience those moments, to be with our guys. And yeah, just felt like the right thing to do at the time.
And then in particular, just to that exchange with Drew, how gratifying was that to be able to celebrate with him in that way?
Yeah, I mean, Drew and I are very close. A lot of people have opinions on our relationship, but we're extremely close. Those aren't rare moments to share together. They happen pretty much every game. And he had put in so much work. He was really in a good place all week. Good place Friday and Saturday morning leading up to the game. And to see him stay cool and confident and do all those things and really lead our team to a victory was special. And to be on the field with him was that way as well. And we just got to continue to put good days together.
Tommy, why was this win important for the program?
I think they're all important, obviously. As we've gone through the season, they all count the same. I think this one continues to bolster the belief, amongst players, coaches, staff, that, we're moving in the right direction. Things are going, the way we want them to. We're preparing the right way. And, to see our players go out there and execute, and really, this game's about them. And to see them have the success they deserved is really what it all comes down to. So it's a great win. It's behind us now. We got to get ready for another challenge coming up and keep chugging along.
Well, you mentioned put it behind you, but moving forward against Navy, a different type of team to prepare with. Mentally, how tough is it to play the Naval Academy?
Yeah, preparing for Navy's always a tall task. I think back to as a player, as a coach, it's always a tough week. They do a great job within their system. They limit your possessions offensively. Coach Newberry gives you a ton of different looks that you have to be ready for and prepared for. They really play complementary football between the offense and defense. So, it's added stress because it's a unique opponent. We have a ton of respect for them, obviously. I've played in the game. I've coached in the game. It's something that you look forward to every year. Look forward to it being over, I guess. But the preparation is a whole different type. It's not something that really you face week to week.
Coach, what does it mean to have the health of the offensive line at this point in the season still, to have that same five-man front staying healthy and productive?
Yeah, let's knock on wood, right? I mean, they've done a great job, and I think early in the season, we kind of said, let's be patient with them. They've, J-Pat missed an extended period of time through camp and the early part of the season, so there's such a camaraderie that's built up front that you need that continuity that can help provide, really an effective unit. And now we're seeing that patience and them working together really come to fruition. There's a lot to be said, working through a lot of those things together. We talk about all the time, the line needs to see everything as one. Finally feels like that's clicking, and, again, we're hungry to get better and continue to improve there too.
With Drew getting player of the game, what did he do that might not show up on film or the stat sheet that he did really well on Saturday? Yeah,
I mean, there's so many things that people don't know, right? You look at a game like that, yeah, we ran the ball very effectively, but we did a lot in terms of how we communicated the plays, the tempos we used, the different ways that we wanted to control the rhythm of the game that was really on the quarterback. He plays a large part in our run game in terms of getting our combinations in the right spots. He himself made a couple runs that were critical. He made critical plays, but more than all of that, his poise, his confidence, the command he had of running what we wanted to do. He really played the game the way we asked him to and made a couple plays for us. And so, the staff felt like he was deserving of it. I'm usually pretty timid to give it to any quarterback, but he did exactly what was required, and we're proud of him and excited to move forward.
And the Navy enters this game with the top 10 rush defense. I guess what do you kind of see from them on film that presents challenges to you guys?
Yeah, they like to bring pressure, really from all over. They move the line a lot, similar to Syracuse, but with pressure. They have good personnel up front. They seem to schematically get into things that are meant to take away a team's top runs. They play hard. All 11 try to tackle the ball. So, I have a ton of respect, for Coach Newberry, going back to a couple of years ago when we first faced him. And he does a really nice job putting his players in a good spot to be successful, and he creates a little bit of havoc defensively.
Rain potentially could be a factor in this one. How does that affect you guys in any form in terms of how you guys go about preparing?
Yeah, we prepped for it a little bit last week because we thought there might be some. The forecast looks all right, but we'll do some wet ball drills here and there, and we'll practice outside like we did tonight to be ready for being outside. But we still got a job to do, and we got to make sure that the weather doesn't impact that.
Kind of piggybacking off that, how in depth is your job to make sure those things are, I guess, accounted for every day?
Yeah, like Saturday night, right? There was an immense amount of wind, especially going away from the tunnel there. So you got to kind of plan. All right, we're going to think this shot or this throw here. Let's maybe save it or let the clock hit so we can get the ball going the other way. There's little things like that come up that you have to prepare for. All stuff that we communicate as a staff and make sure that we try to leave no stone unturned.
We haven't asked that after the fact. Were there things that the wind did play a factor in, end up playing a factor in Saturday night during the course of the game?
We I don't know what we throw in, 18 times, 17 times? 17, yeah. It's probably 13 times less than we would have without the wind. Most of our throws were within a range where it wasn't allowing the wind to take effect of it. That was certainly part of the plan. It was howling down there quite a bit, and obviously we're running the ball with success, so that helped alleviate some of those. But we try to put our guys in positions that are able to be successful.
Tom, is this the most cohesive and together that you've seen the offensive unit look all year, or is there still room for them to come together?
Yeah, I think we haven't had a lack of cohesion amongst our guys. Certainly not in the locker room, certainly not on the practice field. I think we played more of you saw the game with less, maybe mental errors or less, issues, I guess. But the cohesion of the group has not been an issue all year. Again, I think it only gets stronger as the year goes on. We have great leadership from guys like Mike and Jarrett and Drew and the running backs coming on, all three of them. And, those are guys that are all stepping up. You see younger players that are really owning their role. You see a guy like Blake Fisher talking more, Jaden Thomas talking more. There's growth and maturity because guys are having more success and more reps on the field, which adds to the cohesion. But that hasn't really been an issue thus far. We don't anticipate that.
What was it like making that play call? Did you make that play call for Mayer to get that touchdown in the end zone? And did you want him to be in that moment, in that game?
We were running it pretty good. There was a conversation over the headset, hey, if you need to throw it or you want to throw it, feel free. Called it in. Coach Freeman gave us the green light. If you got a pop pass or something, feel free. And if you watch, you called it in. Drew triple takes because he didn't really believe that was the call. And it was something we had prepped for all week, something we wanted to use in the high red. I didn't have the foresight of thinking, okay, this is going to be the record breaker. This is going to be the big. It worked, right? We called a play that we thought was going to work. We got the green light from the headman. We had to run the ball pretty good. And all those pieces kind of fell into place, kind of like the night did, So took all 11 to get us there, and happy it worked.
Last question.
And part of, we talk about this every week since you guys have had success, but the run game, the amount of, pressure you put on the defensive front, again, what's it like to just continue to see that success this late in the season?
Yeah, I think anytime you can run the ball, it alleviates a lot of things. To my core, I believe in running the football. I've always felt that. To my core, towards November and you get later in the year around here, you should be able to run the ball. Our line believes in it. Our receivers believe in it. Our running backs believe in it. Drew believes in it. So we got to continue to find ways to give them good run looks and good opportunities to be successful in the run game. But we got to find a way to balance it out and complement it. So my guys are hungry for that, and hopefully can keep it rolling here this week.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tommy.